announcements, and as such, that brings us to tonight's episode of Critical Role. And apparently we're funneling magical... You begin to make your way through this city, averting any sort of attention from most of the denizens in the sky and below. You squashed heads of a few cultists on the way, masqueraded as cultists, masqueraded as undead, and found the city itself shift strangely. Similarly, using technology of the threshold crests that Singorn uses, it transported itself out of the Shadowfell and somewhere else, where it apparently began to snow. You then made your way towards the central tower and, deciding not to ascend it, just took it to the ground with some earthquake spells. However, due to the magical defenses of the tower top, where the rituals were being completed, it seems the top of the tower was untouched by the spells and lowered itself to the rubble of where it once stood. You then mustered your forces right up to the top of the lip of the tower, what remains of the Tower of Entropis, and joined in battle against Delilah Briarwood, a Death Knight, and the physical form of Vecna, the Whispered One himself. However, the battle did not turn in your favor, and in the process of the battle, in some degrees, whether through just bad luck or not fully understanding the scope of what you were up against, a number of you fell in battle, with one of them not being able to be restored, being Vax'ildan, who was reduced to dust by a disintegration spell. Realizing that your fortunes were failing, with Grog banished to another dimension and only barely returning in time, you joined hands, and Keyleth attempted to travel you out of the plane to safety, of which Vecna intended to stop the counterspell, and Scanlan intended to stop that counterspell with his own counterspell, like a bard is wont to do. So you successfully transported, grabbing the corpse of Delilah Briarwood, of which Percival managed to finish off with a shot to the head, and you found yourselves, last we left off, emerging deep into a wooded forest in some unknown location within the Phalanx. And upon arriving and glancing about to see that you're still mostly intact, touching the no longer living corpse of Delilah behind you, Vax not with you, and Vex realizing asked the question.
I just walk up to her and I just like step down and just don't say anything.
Where is he?
Score.
There's nothing left.
1-0. Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
He was just obliterated.
Disintegrated.
What?
I saw it happen. And then I saw it happen.
And we just left him there?
Never stop
No, we
fighting for
brought
what you believe in.
One.
We brought him
Him.
to fight.
Oh, God.
He's...
No.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, but I was brought back and... His soul is just... Where?
That's the ultimate question, isn't it?
Can you bring it back? Can you bring it back?
Teammate eliminated.
Kenneth?
I've never done this before. I'll go over and gather up all his armor and start hugging it to myself.
I'll show them.
I recently learned of a spell that I could attempt, but it's nothing I've tried before. And it's expensive, and I'm already terrified of
1-1.
the fate and the hell that I might have
Prepare for battle. Select
that I
your
might
hero.
have brought him in his final moments.
Well, what is it?
I think he saw himself die. I think
Imagination is the essence.
I'm so sorry.
1. Fight.
I cast foresight on him, and I think
Be at peak performance levels.
there was a think for a second, and
Enemy seen. Not good.
I haven't thought of those
I will
ramifications of something like that before. I think he was helping me something we could do. What if that happened? What if he saw himself die?
Then it doesn't
Yeah,
matter
it
yet
doesn't help anything.
until we bring him back.
Only matters what we do next, right? Splash down.
Bring him back.
What's this new spell you've got?
25,000 gold pieces worth of dice. I need 25 gold diamonds.
Where are we?
I don't have that.
Well, we can find it then.
As you look around at this point, for the first time really taking in the surroundings around you, you find yourself deep in a shaded, thick wood, where most of the leaves here are wide and triangular in shape. Where you expect to see deep greens, instead you see blues and purples. You see the tips eventually coming to almost like a midnight blue at the edge. There is a very faint mist that is gathered across the ground that stands about knee height. And the ground beneath you seems to have a somewhat crunchy sponginess to it with each step, though you cannot see where your feet actually touch the ground.
Is it all diamonds?
It is not all diamonds. You do hear the ever-present, echoing, distant hooting of owls.
1. Fight. Match point.
Well, now we know what to do. We were too late. We have seen what we're up against, and now we need to focus. And we can't let it be over yet. We just need to focus. We're going to find these diamonds.
Was it her?
It was...
Or was it Vecna?
Rod? You put her in the bag. I toss in her body.
As the body of Delilah Briarwood, the head still kind of scattered and divided right around the forehead. This giant cleft of her skull hemisphere is just gone, and whatever matter was once there has kind of loosely fallen out as she's been dragged from one to the other location. You do see the left eye, which is not human, it seems, in appearance. The white is instead a sickly greenish yellow, and the pupil itself is a cat-like slit of black, surrounded by a very thin kind of greenish blue tint. And as soon as you look down and see the face, the eye which just looks upward at nothing. The dead body still, the eye twitches and shifts to look at you.
Fucking eye is still moving.
Could be Vecna watching us. Or
Does it look reptilian?
being.
Enemy eliminated.
You put it in a bag or something. Cover it up.
Wait, but it might still.
Capture the objective.
Can I take a closer look at it and see if I can, I don't know,
Eliminated.
identify it somehow?
Do we have an identify spell?
No, but can I just kind of look and
Make
see
an
it?
Arcana check.
Sure. 2.
Play.
You know,
As
plus
you-
5, but
Right. As you get down close to glance, at
Got you in my sights.
rather disturbingly bloodied face of Delilah Briarwood. The eye shifts back towards you. As the closer you get, you watch as the thinly slit pupil seems to almost widen and focus on you. And it's this unsettling presence. And as you try and concentrate on it to see if there's any immediate signs of whether it be sigils or arcane marks that would mark it to be more of a magically enchanted object than an actual organic eye, nothing comes to mind other than the fact that it seems to be very intent on studying you back.
Can I try to remove it from the ocular cavity?
Using with your fingers?
Yeah.
Okay.
My tiny ocular hands.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
9.
Okay. You,
Can inspire myself, I suppose.
if you want to, up to you. How many more bardic inspirations do you have after the battle?
2, right? Because I didn't cutting words anyone. Those count as inspirations,
They do.
right?
Yeah.
I have-
Your fingers are now pretty much knuckle deep into Delilah Briarwood's
I will
sock.
inspire myself just to give it a serious try.
Okay.
That's plus 10, so that's a 19.
Okay.
Plus, I guess, 3 for Jack. jack of all trades.
If you're not trained in it, then yeah.
So 22.
All right, so you begin humming your favorite eye-pulling song under your breath, and with the horrible sucking sound, you pull the eye from her socket, leaving this kind of trail of dark black and red viscera that just dangles from it loosely, which, as you pull it free, whatever attached the eye to it seems to burn off and fall, leaving just the circular socket. I also need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Insta-death.
No, you're fine.
No, I'm not. Oh, is this magic?
It's not a magic spell. I'd say it's a magic effect. Yeah.
So do I get advantage?
I'll say for yes, as a gnome, for this, yes, you would.
Way better, but still terrible. 12.
Oh, God.
12.
Uh-huh.
How bad was your first one?
A 1.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you guys watch as Scanlan kind of pulls this eye out and kind of looks at it for a second. For you, it's less of an actual voice, but these images come to your mind of all the terrible things that have happened in your life. The loss of your mother, the near loss of Kaylee, loss of your friends. Every person that's ever mattered to you, you've seen slain before you or heard about. You could stop that from ever happening again. All the answers you could have. You would have the power to prevent any of that from ever happening again. And it's so simple. It's so simple.
Can we smack the eye out of his
Well,
hand?
as this is happening, you watch as he's looking at it, and this hand just goes up and starts clawing into his own eye socket.
I'm going to use every dex I have.
I'm holding tight to this thing.
I'm going to slap fucking hard.
This thing's going to kill me.
Well, this dex isn't going to help you so much here as it's going to be a strength thing. So go ahead and make an athletics check. And for you for this, go ahead and make, this would be an acrobatics to try and dodge out of the way.
Strength check?
Or athletics.
Oh, athletics, that's better.
So you're trying to slap it out, get out of his grasp.
13.
10. Oh, no. You slap, and the hand kind of just like, kind of pulls back a little bit, and he kind of yanks it back in, and you can see a trail of blood beginning to pull out of the corner of the eye.
All right, can I slap it out of his hand?
My coke nail's going in.
Can I slap him? Can I try to grab his hand and slap him across?
Yeah, this is the last chance anybody has to try and do this, or if Scanlan loses an eye.
Okay.
We're going to an Event Horizon moment here. Go ahead and make an athletics check. Oh! Roll an acrobatics check.
It's the same thing. So it's 13.
Okay. So as his fingers are digging into the socket and the other eye's just staring at this piercing circular gaze in his grasp in his right, you see the blood beginning to trail down his face in two different places as he's gotten his fingers partway behind his own eye. And you rush up and grab him by the wrist, put your other hand right at the front of his face, kind of pushing his nose and cheek up, and you pull it back, and you watch as from behind the eyelids, his fingers slip out. And he's fighting it with all his might. And with that, as you pull back, as soon as you get it free, with your other hand, you just backhand the eye. Well, you knock the eye out of his other hand, and it goes and kind of disappears beneath the mist.
Can we see where it...
Yeah, I'm going to follow the
Do
eye.
not touch it, Percy.
Can I see?
The throbbing pain and you're not able to focus in this eye at the time. You're effectively unable to see out of this eye really well, probably until your next long rest, because it's pretty damaged just from the brief grabbing in there.
Gouging.
Yeah, you can try and heal him if you want. Your mind comes back to you for a minute, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
What are you doing?
It was speaking to me.
What does it say?
I don't exactly remember, but it had some really strong arguments.
What, is it like telling you to pull your own fucking eye out?
I guess, yeah. It was offering me things. It was telling me it could help. I've never felt that way before.
Sniper.
It was amazing.
Where'd it go?
Which, you two, you said you're going to go ahead and look in the mist world? Oh yeah, you're just down. Investigation check. To the remains of Max.
Armor. Keyleth goes over to Vex and just kind of like curls up into her.
14. As you dive over in the direction where you think you saw it go, you begin to, the mist is thick and you start kind of pushing it away, and there's just very, very dense underbrush and foliage that is just gathered here that created the kind of crunchy floor. Glancing through and pushing around, there's no sign of the eye.
I need help finding it. I need help. Be very careful.
I come over and start helping him look.
Oh god, you're gonna step on
I've got the flashlight box out, and I'm going to try and use this as a container if we find it.
Where does it hurt?
Okay. You're not using the actual light from using the box.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
the light, the mist, the thickness in the mist right now, the light would probably hinder your search than help it.
Keyleth, can you thin this?
What?
I need to see.
Peak performance
Make the mist go away.
What?
Can you make the mist go away?
I don't know. I like half-heartedly do a gust cantrip while still sitting next to Vex.
Okay. Watch as some of the mist kind of dissipates and very quickly begins to roll back. The mist here is almost aggressive in its need to fill the space. Like a lot of things in the Feywild, it almost has its own sense of nature and purpose, and it's not going to let someone push itself back if it wishes to exist on the forest floor. As you're rushing in to help, because you've already made the investigation check and the mist is rolling in, and based on his inability to find it, you're not even quite sure where it landed. Make your own investigation check, but you're disadvantaged.
Okay. Hey, that's high. That's not.
Shit.
3.
Okay. Over the next 3 or 4 minutes, as you guys pat through and tear roots apart and sections of the forest floor, there is no sign of where the eye landed.
If I were to cast locate object, would that work?
You can certainly try.
Okay. Okay.
So you, as you go over and grab your holy symbol and kneel to the ground, focus on whatever this dark relic is that seems to have plagued you in 2 different ways in just the past 10 minutes. As you concentrate, you feel the divine light of Sarenrae come and restore warmth from the center of this cold forest. You feel the energy flow through you, and the image of her face descending from above, her mouth opening, and she just exhales this breath over you, and as it does, you suddenly can clarify your visual perception on this object, and you know exactly the direction it is. You start walking in that direction, and you kind of push past Grog and push past Percival, and you find a portion of the ground, and you look, and it's not there, but you know it's that direction.
Imagination is the essence of
I think I've located it right. I can't see it, but I know what direction it's in.
Is it underneath the ground? Is it invisible?
This will protect us.
No. So it seems like it's in the ground, or like it's been moved, or...
You're kind of try and push aside some of the mist in the area, and like all things closed in now. Just can't kind of hold back what it could while you cast the spell.
And then just once again kind of
Watch your six.
boost for them.
The mist separates again. You look and you can see the direction where it would be, and as you kind of glance over and focus your attention, it looks like between 2 of the roots there's a portion of fresh dirt. Yeah, just scooping in.
Box out ready.
Okay.
About 3 inches down, you scoop down and pull up a big handful of moist dirt, and then there you watch as some of it falls away. You see the wet exterior of the greenish yellow eyeball. It's like it began to burrow. You see it kind of glancing about. It's, the eye is flickering around, like rapidly trying to find a way out.
Put it in the box.
All right, you close the box.
30 seconds.
Burrowing eyeball, are you sure?
No, I mean,
Holy shit.
no, I mean, I don't trust it. I don't trust it near us.
That was my favorite thing you've ever said.
I think, Percy, I think you need to give it to me to hold.
I think that's a terrible
No,
idea.
I can take care of it better than you.
What makes you think
No.
so?
You just give it to me. Trust me.
You're bleeding out your eye right now.
I want revenge on this eye, and give it to me so I can get revenge.
Oh, I cast Cure Wounds for his eye.
Right. You
that, yeah.
So the eye, there's still, the eye wasn't removed from the socket, but the damage that was around it seems to have healed up from the amount of cure wounds. There's still the drying blood that is kind of pulled down the cheek, but it appears that most of the initial damage has been sealed.
I kind of want you to hold it.
Okay.
I think I should.
I think Pi should
just
hold
feel
it.
like I'm gonna hold on to it in case it tries to attach itself to you again, or you pull out your eyeball again.
That thing is close. I'm like, yes, and that thing it should be difficult to get out of. It is a big case that's designed to hold
What
a
if
big
it can still hear us? Sense where we are.
It's an eyeball. It doesn't have ears.
That is true. That is a very good point.
Well, if we're really amused by it, we can just set off the light crystal that's in there and let it blind itself in there for a while. That could be funny. We have bigger problems. Diamonds. And Delilah.
Right beside you.
Oh yeah, she still goes in the back, right?
Oh yeah, we're going to want to have a word with her
Let me get
later.
you patched up.
Even beyond the diamonds.
Vex?
I'm with you. Damage increased.
Vex.
Clearing the area. Behind you.
We need you here now. I need you here.
Enemy
We're not done.
They're all over me.
This is not over yet. We are
Healing stream engaged.
in trouble. We need to find a city. Two of you. I need both of you here.
This was supposed to be a week.
My ultimate is charging.
enemy eliminated.
Nothing is ever what it's supposed to be.
Get them off me.
Winner.
Let's get this done.
Even after we find 25,000 gold pieces worth of diamonds.
Select your hero.
I've never brought anyone back before. And this is versus the Raven Queen. How do we know if his soul is even available for return?
How do we know that she is against us? This was Yvette now.
1. Fight.
She may still be with us.
They let his soul over there alone. I did. I did that.
We're not done.
Enemy eliminated.
Maybe we should talk to the Raven Queen.
How do you do that?
There's a temple in Vasselheim. There's a temple. I imagine in Whitestone. Same way that he did.
We need to find diamonds.
Yeah.
Can we find them without... While we're here, can we find them where we are?
I don't know how you find diamonds.
But you know the Feywild.
Where are we?
Yeah, do we see any like structures off in the distance, or is it all just overgrowth?
You are in the seemingly center, or at least completely surrounded by enclosed, dense, bluish purple forest. You cannot see above the canopy. A little bit of light that is visible seems to be from sort of a bioluminescence beneath the fog. And as you guys kind of pushed below, you can see what appeared to be bits of fungus that grew out of the forest floor and the slowly dying off and decomposing leaves and fallen branches. So it's almost like this underlit glow, but you don't see any structures, no signs of civilization. You have no idea where you are. You've not been to this part of the Feywild.
Maybe a werewolf.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have a terrible idea. Like, you know, I think they wanted to leave. So what if they know of like some hidden treasure trove around here? So I could, you know, tit for tit.
Yeah, that I might be able to buy diamonds as well.
If
We go to a city.
If we rest, we may be able to make them.
5,000 gold worth of diamonds.
How big is that?
Yeah, I have
It could
three.
be
a lot of smaller diamonds.
But how big? How many?
I'll pull out
should be
one
able to
diamond that I
tell how
have
much-
that's worth 1,500 gold.
I feel like that's within a Tinker theory, is figuring out how much diamond.
We would need 20 more of these.
How big is it?
It can range based on the purity of the diamond, how well it's been cut. You can make an intelligence check if you'd like.
That'll do. I feel like this would be in the wheelhouse.
Gotta blow my nose again.
God, I'm rolling just the worst. 13.
13.
Microphone.
I mean, it's a lot of diamonds. That can range depending on the purity and where you're coming from, or where in the world it's found. You know, there's a kind of a standard amount when it comes to magic practices that aren't tailored to the cultural variations of cost. Like, you couldn't ask somebody, sell me these diamonds, but for 6 times the cost, and you know, it wouldn't help the spell occur. It's actually that's the general equivalent to the amount of diamonds that are consumed required for this spell.
We don't have a body.
You've never seen that many diamonds in one place.
We don't have a body, so we're basically making a diamond vax.
I know where there are diamonds.
That's fun.
Where?
I have 3.
Now
I'll give them the
entering
back.
I can make them. We just need an animal.
How much can you make?
As much as the animal.
Prepare for battle.
Ooh, like the bigger the animal, the bigger the diamonds?
I can make animals.
I mean, I know you're grieving, but we could give Trinket up for this.
I
We can
can
make
make animals.
Gammon.
It's worth a try.
There is a second thought if this does not go well, which was, there was one place where we saw that many diamonds in one place before. Fordak.
Yeah. But they would have surely like cleaned all that up by now, right?
Yes, but there's not everything left. The city there's enough there. It didn't just get randomly distributed. I'm sure that they have it. I'm sure we can make a deal.
Take a loan. Like take a loan.
I have something worth.
Enemy
Was that a bad idea?
Taking out a loan
You.
to buy diamonds.
We have gold.
Prepare for
We have
battle.
plenty of gold.
Hey, what did Craghammer mine? What was their deal?
All sorts of things. Many precious metals, gems, stone that was used for crafting, and hewing into various forms of masonry. Pretty much anything that could be reaped from beneath the Cliffkeep Mountains. That's what Craghammer specialized in.
What if we go to a mine? What if we go straight to a source, buy direct?
Go straight to Crackhammer and buy. Or we can try doing what
Try
Scanlan said.
mine first, and
Let's
if
try
it
this
doesn't
first.
work, but I need to rest. I can't do anything today.
Oh,
Should we get back to the
Can move
to our world?
Move to Craghammer. Rest there.
we can. We have to sleep before. Unless,
I mean,
unless there's
we're
a
not
portal,
bleeding.
unless there's a portal nearby that we can get through.
Did you send us to that pond? I thought you took us to the pond with. the
I mean,
chick.
it has to be nearby. Plane shift is general. I pick an area and it kind of gambles.
Did you specify? the
I
location?
did. I said the Shademark Bog and the pond, or the glade. I found the page in my notes and I just rambled all the names off very quickly in panic.
Now, what's interesting is, since last you were the Shade Mark, you recall this being a very kind of oil-thickened
Oh, you took us to where
Oh no. is
Sondor was. You didn't take us to the pond with the chick?
2 to 0.
Correct. This is
my-
the Shade
my
Mark.
boo.
This is where you battled with Sondor. However, the forest you're in now, if this is indeed the same location, it seems to have vastly recovered from the corruption that Sondor's presence gave. Which is why it's both unfamiliar to you and not as oppressive as the last time you visited.
And didn't we?
Let's bring it together.
Well,
Should we
I
howl?
played.
So we have to spend the night here. Vecna's in our world.
Vecna's in a box.
I have spotted the enemy.
What does he get from that eye?
More than all of us combined, I imagine.
If it burrows in the ground, it can't like break out of the box, right?
I don't know.
Open the box and see what it's doing.
We can look in the box without.
I'll take it.
What? You should have prepared
I'll
last time.
send it away
No.
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 to a place where only I can get it.
Your butt.
Play of the game.
That
Take a
is.
peek.
You open it up.
Just like
Yeah. You hold it back and hold it open,
There's a glass thing, so we can look through the glass.
oh, okay.
and immediately glancing in, you see it staring right back at you.
Give me the thing. I'll get rid of it.
No, don't send it to another plane.
Don't
That's
give it to
very
him.
fucking weird.
But
Yeah.
it's a personal plane. It's my plane.
Like, are you sure nobody else can ever get into it?
I am not.
Then no.
I don't know how this works. My daughter taught me this spell. I've never used it
Then
before.
fuck it, we're not doing it.
Hold on to
But-
it. We'll figure that out.
It goes into a little
bit.
pocket dimension. This is what she told me. I don't even know what that means.
That's really weird.
What if it's the Vecna dimension?
Here, let's try something. Just give me something. I'll send it there now, and I don't know what that will do.
How will we know what's there?
Give me Trinket.
No, stop it.
I can't do Trinket. It has to be less than 5 pounds.
Less than 5 pounds?
Yes.
It has to be something small.
Yeah.
No, no, don't consider it, Pike. No.
Just give me anything.
You want like a pair of manacles?
Sure.
It's a pair of
Don't ask
manacles.
questions like
All
we're
right.
considering it.
I will use wrist pocket.
Okay, you watch as he holds the manacles, and then it's just like a flourish with his hand, and they just vanish from sight.
How do you know if they're there?
I don't know where they are.
Nice trick.
I literally have no idea, but watch this.
They seem to apparate immediately back into his grasp.
I don't know how I even do that.
Cool. We're not using a random ass magic trick
Did you
on
just
an
point at me
eyeball.
and tell me to come to you so you can make me disappear and
I
come
want
back?
the eye. No, I want the eye. I can get rid of the eye.
Don't do it.
I don't know. It makes me nervous again, and I want to keep our eyes on it.
Maybe we should vote on this. Should we give it to me? Who says aye?
You can buy my vote.
Bring it together.
Well, for 25,000 GP of diamonds.
Yes, you do. You can buy my vote.
Are there any animals around?
Make a nature check.
Natural 20.
Yes, you do.
You're familiar with forests, definitely. You can see telltale signs of scurrying, telltale signs of track marks in the ground, feces left behind by living creatures, and you do see signs of things that live throughout these forests everywhere.
Anything that looks like it would be like the size of a adult deer or something.
A deer, a female deer.
I'm thinking a male deer.
A buck.
A buck.
Stag.
A buck.
A
Yes, a stag. A white stag. Any stag, really, just an animal. That's big.
You see a number of tracks that would resemble creatures of that size or larger. Some seem bear-like, some seem larger than that. Those similar clawed and heavy footprints, some that are smaller and skittery, some that you see like there was a small cluster of what might be deer-like creatures, but you're not quite sure what the tracks are. Yeah, there's plenty of life that wanders through here. And apparently, since you've arrived, none that seem bold enough to approach you too closely in this clustered clearing you're in. I tend to call it a clearing because you maybe have a total of 10 feet that you're all crammed into at this time.
I mean, if we howl, right?
Oh yeah, we're down.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't healed since the...
Turn it up.
What's up with
Enemy eliminated.
Aren't you low, Pike? Like
I mean,
11
if we're
or
about
something?
to rest,
Capture the objective.
Your life
to
doesn't
win.
go around.
Let's see, I forgot I wrote it down here.
I'm at 46.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Trinket's,
Yeah, you're like,
Almost dead.
Trinket's unconscious still in my
Necklace.
necklace.
You want some?
Okay.
He's
Let's prove it, people.
Pop him out. You're gonna heal him.
Yes.
Oh, buddy.
I just start crying.
I turn him inside.
Oh, let's break it.
So what are you guys doing?
He's gonna heal us.
Score
heal and sleep.
All right. What
And
are you
then I'm
casting?
gonna kill something.
Prepare for battle.
Okay.
Let's
Select your
make something
hero.
big.
What are you casting, Pike?
Mass cure wounds.
Mass Cure Wounds. All right, go for it.
Will it work on a magical animal? Will it work on a magical animal, or does it have to be a real animal?
No, it can work on anything.
Three is without
I don't. I mean, I've never turned anything into diamonds.
Why the hell not? If I had that, I'd be doing
I
it
mean,
all the
you
time.
could do
Right.
it all the
In
time.
retrospect, I should have been
Yeah,
doing
what
it
the fuck?
literally every day.
Yeah.
I just learned the spell like a
Why'd you-
week ago.
Why are you dealing drugs? You're like, boop.
But look at this.
Solid.
Oh, it's gone. It's
yeah,
back. Cool, right?
And think how useful that will come in the bedroom.
eliminated.
Manacles.
Oh.
No, nobody. Cool.
I was like, pocket dimension?
That was okay.
No, we went.
You all healed 31 points.
Okay.
Yay!
Something.
Yay.
31.
Everyone healed 30. Trinket gets up.
Yay, I think.
Open up.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Do you guys need more healing? I could try to give
I
us
mean,
more.
we're gonna rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, are we
could do more,
safe to
but
leave
I know we're
fucking?
gonna rest.
I mean, there's nothing we can do at this point. Leave Vecna in the world.
Select your hero.
I'm open. We have
We can't do anything.
one problem at a time. We have Delilah, and we will deal with.
What do you want to do with Alana?
I think we need
She's
to
been
question
stuffed
her.
into the bag of holding.
I know.
We're going to talk to her. We're going to see what we can learn. We're going to be very thoughtful about what we talk to her about, and we're going to find a way of making
You should be
sure that this is the last time we put her in the ground. By hook or by crook.
Don't cry on camera and then have to blow your nose about it.
right beside you.
She says to a nearby tree. The more you know.
Do we use?
Should we try killing an animal and seeing how many diamonds we get?
I'm with you.
Or
I can't try anything today.
Okay, we have to wait. Okay, we have to
Tomorrow we
rest.
go to crack hammer. We make an animal.
We don't have the mansion tonight.
Do you want to speak with the
Let's.
Eliminated.
We don't need to mention I got all my hit points. I'm good.
I don't think I'm in the right mind to even think of anything to say to her that isn't just strange.
Score.
We need to get up in a tree. I don't know what's in this area, but I saw some
mansion?
tracks that
Prepare
didn't look
for
friendly.
battle.
No mention.
Select your hero.
Let's get up there.
Aren't these trees like dangerous in their own right?
They seem like they've quieted
We've
down a
healed
bit.
this forest. You should thank us.
Okay. Does the bow like talk to the trees or anything?
I'll be
That's
watching
rude.
over you.
Interesting. With the natural 20 nature check you made earlier, there is, I don't want to say, not a kinship, but a sense of understanding between you and the surrounding forest. It's hard to explain. You haven't really had this sense before. This is more of a gift territory of having this connection with nature. But it's because you wield Fenthris and were responsible in a large way for cleansing this landscape, that as you begin to approach and look for trees for a place to sleep, you watch as one tree, the branches seem to bend down to form a small ladder, and you watch as the boughs above kind of separate and create what appears to be an easy to lay down cluster of branches and limbs.
You guys crash out. I'll take first look.
Pull the armor out so we can.
Enemy eliminated.
Or
Victory.
did you want it?
Yeah. We cuddle between the armor.
Play.
That's weird. I'm not getting involved.
It's pretty silly. All right, the rest of you find yourselves to a night's rest, seemingly protected for the time being by the surrounding Shademar forest along the Shademar bog. And unconsciousness takes you. Grog taking first watch.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you guys if you wouldn't mind to step into the kitchen.
What? Really?
Everybody
Yes.
but Grog, or?
I know everybody
Okay.
but Liam.
Oh fuck
shit,
me running. We're jacking off.
Unjacking.
Jacking.
off. No, I feel like you're gonna
Go! A whole other show.
Life?
Spin off.
All right, we're getting Liam back in here. Shoo. Shoo. No, we'll probably have you back in. Getting tangled. Wait for them to leave the room. Baxalda. As your eyes dart back and forth, glancing upward at the sky above, snow hitting and stinging your paralyzed eyes, you see the terrible lich above you. A flash of green, then darkness. Floating. Without weight. Without temperature. You glance around in the surrounding shadow and cannot see anything. Your hands before you, nothing. It is just void, darkness. You will yourself to see something, anything, and in an instant, you begin to glow. Your form becomes visible around you. You can now see your body, nude and held aloft in this dark space, just emanating this soft, vibrant, orangish white light. As the light begins to emanate and cast away the nearby darkness, you also see what appears to be a tangling of some sort of web, strands of silk that also begin to glow a similar light as to your form that holds you tightly in your position. You struggle, but you're held firm. You think you yell out, but as you glance upward to shout for help,
Now entering
you see the shadows now curl back to reveal the familiar sight of a massive, white, porcelain woman's face.
Select your hero.
Eyeless, yet staring straight at, if not through you. Her presence, imposing as it may be, soothes you as her giant hand, larger than a house, a palace it seems almost, emerges from below and gives you a ground to step on, your feet finding purchase in the center of her dark palm. As your feet touch her palm, the silk web seems to loosen. You cast off the threads and fall to your hands and knees. Take a moment and hear a soft voice once more.
Enemy eliminated.
My champion, you returned to me and tear a swath through the tapestry.
0 to 1.
Please, be calm.
Prepare for battle.
My sight can
Select
pierce
your
many
hero.
veils, but you've been hidden from my sight in recent days, and I am worried what foulness has turned its intent upon us. Now here you come to me, your very thread
I'll be
frayed,
watching over you.
and soul transitioned,
Fight.
an unexpected destiny for my beautiful fate touched. When her fingers curl through your hair, the back
I'm
of your
taking
head.
care.
Tell me what you have seen.
Teammate eliminated.
I have many.
Score
Vecna.
0 to 2. Prepare for battle.
What
Select your hero.
does this Vecna intend?
He's come. He's come back to our world. My home.
I'm ready to win.
3, 2, 1. Fight. Match
My
point.
family is in danger. The world is in danger.
How so? How can one man be this dangerous? What is he?
Enemy eliminated.
I wonder why he would guard my side. Well. And she goes into quiet contemplation for a moment. You see the strands of hair that emanate from the sides of the mask and just slowly shift waves of motion.
Winner. Score.
This Vecna comes to your world
1-2. Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
to be a king.
He's come back to our world. My
I'll
home.
be watching over you.
2, 1. Fight. Match point.
My family is in danger. The world is in danger.
Healing stream engaged.
Man, be the stain.
Damage increased.
What is he?
Teammate eliminated.
What have you learned?
Enemy eliminated.
I could use some assistance. Damage amplified.
Enemy turret destroyed. Enemy
Guard
turret
my side.
Teammates have been eliminated.
My ultimate is charging.
She goes into quiet contemplation.
Enemy turret ahead.
See the strands of hair that emanate from the sides of the mask and just slowly shift waves of motion.
But down.
Enemy eliminated.
My ultimate is charging.
This Vecna comes to your world
30 seconds remaining.
Enemy turret ahead. Watch yourself.
Defeat.
Grind us all into dust.
This is historical. Mortals continuously
of the
intend to find others to grind into dust. If this being has the power to block my sight, he has power beyond a mortal realm. Did you see anything? Anything else?
We traveled to the Shadowfell. There was a tower. And he had servants. He had powerful servants. A woman that we fought before. And another, a man, a creature I don't know, with a blade. A dark blade.
Traveling to Numbani.
And he was too powerful for us. He crushed us.
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
And in your short spark with him,
Everything
you learn
can be
nothing more
hacked.
of his plan.
And everyone.
No hint of what he's plotting.
Ahorita regreso. He vuelto.
He threw me to the ground the first second he lays eyes on me.
Been here all along.
He murdered my sister.
Here I am.
I thought we had come to an arrangement.
No one can hide from my sight.
¿Qué onda?
That is my sister.
She lives still. She is beyond my influence. However,
Ya estoy lista para ese trago.
your body is apt, and your soul is steeped in the divine energies that uphold the paths between life and death.
Be right back. I'm out of here.
You've earned your eternal rest.
Traveling to Route
The mass
66.
begins to recede into the darkness.
Prepare your defenses. Select
Come back.
your hero.
No. A man, a creature I don't know. With a blade. A dark blade. And he was too powerful for us. He crushed us.
And in your short spark with him, you know nothing more
I'll be
of his
watching
plan.
over you.
No hint of what he's plotting.
I've got you.
Let's just get the job done.
He threw me to the ground.
I'm taking
The
care of you.
second he lays eyes on me, he murdered my
I'll be busy
sister.
soon enough.
I thought we
Healing
had
stream engaged. That'll help
come
for
to
now.
an arrangement.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Look at this team. We're gonna
Where is my sister?
Did you mean to do that?
She is beyond my influence. However,
You're easily
your body
impressed.
is ash, and your soul is steeped in the divine energies that uphold the
I
paths
sent you
between
my
life and death.
consultation fee.
1. Attackers incoming. Stop
You've
the
earned
payload.
your eternal rest. The mass begins to recede into the darkness.
No. Come back. No. I will not leave them behind.
Healing stream engaged. It's better.
The faint gray of the mass that begins to fade into shadow stops and comes back even brighter, vibrant almost. You sense the mystery of the Raven Queen shift from this entity that dodges and weaves to instead a pillar of power of life and death that is both awe-striking and awe-filled. For a moment you realize how small you are in her presence. Die. You truly see to its end.
Behind you.
Your resolve is admirable. Your love of your chosen family is vital. What I offer you is the power to see this conflict through to its end. You will be briefly beyond the very grasp of death, and I will hold back any attempt for you to transition. You will be a bulwark of my power and cold flesh, walking between heartbeats, unstoppable. You will have the power to walk once more the Vox Machina with your sister, with your creator. Should you use this power wisely, perhaps save Exandria, save them, save her. But when it's done, when this fire, our dying king lies dead or sealed, you will return to me, my champion, evermore.
Fire at will.
The imposing figure shifts and changing instantly. The giant being is now a simple woman. The mask you once saw removed, now missing. And there is a somewhat sad, beautiful, pale face. She steps forward. The silence is broken by the sounds of her footsteps across nothing. Her hand comes up. Warm, You weren't expecting it. As it races across your brow, curves across to your chin, pulls it up.
Such loneliness.
So good. You whose name bucks destiny.
60 seconds remaining.
Go. Share what you have shared with me. With others like me.
Fire at will.
Take what you can learn of this Vector's plans. For if he can block his
Justice reigns from above.
fire in the hole!
30 seconds remaining.
Into the iris.
Timeless. They are theirs to give his own. They gave you all that stands. Of this world.
10 seconds remaining.
Come on, everyone. We can do this.
Their blessings during the times.
Back in the fight. 冻住，不许走。
But choose your time wisely. The corruption anticipates you.
Fire at will.
Double kill.
Brings your head close to hers, and you hear a voice whisper right into your ear. Wake up.
Victory.
You can go ahead and retrieve the rest of the cast now. If you wouldn't mind stepping aside. Sure. Thank you.
Play of the game.
Ooh.
Fire at will. Justice reigns from above.
Quadruple kill.
Who's that's above death?
He threw me to the ground the first second he laid eyes on me. He murdered my sister. I thought we had come to an arrangement.
We have?
Where is my sister?
She lives still. She is beyond my influence.
Feel the healing beat.
However, your body is ash, and your soul is steeped in the divine energies that uphold the paths between life and death. You've yearned your eternal rest. The mass begins to recede into the darkness.
No, no. Come back. No. I will not leave them behind.
Double
But then, I want to help them. Still.
The faint gray of the mass that began to fade into shadow stops and comes back even brighter, vibrant almost. You sense the mystery of the Raven Queen shift from this entity that dodges and weaves to instead a pillar of power of life and death that is both awe-striking and awe-fearing. And for a moment you realize how small you are in her presence. You truly see.
Was that all?
To bring it to its end.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Whatever it takes.
Your resolve is admirable. Your love of your chosen family is vibrant. What I offer you is the power to see this conflict through to its end.